motion from? I missed that.
I moved.
Okay, is that Logan? Thank you. And the second was Ruben. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion before we call for the vote? If not, I'm going to call for the vote. Why don't we, except for Jay, which you can verbalize, everybody in favor, raise your hand, and we will.
Aye.
Okay. Jay, you said aye. So, Mr. Secretary, we have a unanimous vote in favor of expending $513,300 for the next fiscal year. I'm going to move on in the agenda, Tim, to the marketing.
Okay, sure. That'll be good. Let me just double check here. Good. Hello, everyone. How are we all doing?
All right.
There we go. It's always kind of weird to talk to you and then also give a presentation because I have to toggle between my screens. So let me see if I can get this going. Before I start, hopefully you all got the email. Logan, I think you got it as well, where we did our marketing roundtable, which we normally do that at the Best Western. And Norm, you've always been graciously hosting us and providing us coffee and pastries. This time we did it as a webinar, and I made a recording of it and I sent it out. So if you haven't seen it, I'll resend it out.
Would you resend it to me, please?
Sure. It's going to be the best 49 minutes of your life, Norm. But it's all just deciding what we're talking about. So for those who have seen it, some of this might be a repeat, but for those of you who haven't seen it, I'm going to do it now. So let me see if I can share my screen again. And here we go. All right, you guys can see my screen, I hope. And I'm going to try this.
Humans.
All right, you see a bunch of beautiful photos?
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. So we start off with talking about what kind of things are being productive on social media. And we've been calling this time during COVID the great pause, right? Everyone's taking a break. So things that have been really working are, of course, landscapes and scenics and people imagining things, also patriotic themes around the 4th of July, food and baby animals. What's nice is that we haven't changed things drastically from previous marketing, except you'll notice there aren't big group images going out. We're kind of not doing that anymore. These are the ones that people are most commenting on, the same kind of thing. It's just people imagining what's happening in Sonoma. We have our new PR consultant. She is fantastic. She used to work for Visit California. Her name is Jennifer Sweeney. She's already gotten us some good placements online, and there's something coming out today in Marin Living magazine, which a lot of you, Ruben, I think you got mentioned in there and stuff. I'll have to see, but there's some good hits happening. We're changing a little bit. You know, it used to be a little further afield than just California, but just a quick reminder, we're gonna be targeting Sacramento and San Francisco, California drive market, because we're seeing where most people are coming from. And I'll show you that research in a little bit. So big trends, socially distanced travel, outdoors, road trips, vacation homes, food and culinary, and we're always looking for what's new. I should mention on road trips, we got included in a thing called the Southern Trails Road Trips. This is a map about people who will drive actually from like the Midwest to the West. And we are the end of the trail for one of the routes, which is really nice. So we are in a big print run, about 100,000 maps that are going out nationally for that. Media include, as I said, Reader's Digest, Marin Living, Via Magazine, Sotheby's Reside, which is the real estate magazine, doing a lot of content for Visit California. And here's some of the pitches, and some of you can jump in on this. Take your European vacation in Sonoma. So as you know, Europe has kind of closed itself off to American travelers. So we're saying if you can't go to Tuscany, come to Sonoma. If you can't go to Provence, come to Sonoma. If you can't go to Portugal, go visit Tosca. You get the idea. It's kind of nice. We're always pitching outside, and again, road trips, and then also vacation rentals and unique lodging. So Byron, those have been very popular. People are kind of liking that image. It is interesting, you know, vacation rentals, and I think we mentioned this last time, are pitching themselves as a good place for, if you're a family unit, you can stay and kind of self-contained. So a good spot for you guys to be maneuvering.
Apparently, if you have a vacation rental with a pool, you could rent it 50 times over right now.
Really? That's crazy.
Oh,
All right,
it's
well,
there. You overrun with people for those properties.
time to hire a backhoe. Start digging some pools. Uh, please remember, this is Jennifer Sweeney's contact information. Keep her updated because she's always looking for things. She was on the plaza yesterday, walking around looking at stuff, and she was checking out Todd Family Outpost, and she's always looking for new things to talk about. Membership wise, these are our new members. We still had new members. For those of you that have not been to Ovello, they joined in June. Ovello is the new Italian style deli. It's down there next to where Curves used to be, or where Curves probably still is. So it's worth checking out. And then the Todd Family
It's
Outpost.
awesome.
You've been there, Byron. Yeah, it's really good. It's
You
dangerous.
buy stuff from there pretty regularly. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I go in there for lunch and I walk out with a lot more than I should have.
Yeah.
But Todd Family Outpost finally opened, and that's fantastic. So go check that out. I do want to give a shout out to the city, working very quickly on allowing outdoor dining and adaptation of sidewalk space, because that's, I think, helping those new businesses kind of eke it out right now in this tough time. And I see Todd Family Outpost has those tables, which are very popular. I think you've seen some of this, but this was during what we call the Great Pause. And these are things we've been talking about, how to get people involved, and kind of like our This Week in Sonoma shows, where we feature different member businesses and been talking about them, trying to keep people interested. We have seen an increased interest in recipes and then virtual performances. So Valley of the Moon, not the Vintage Festival, the music festival that plays on vintage instruments. They have these world-class cellists and violinists playing, and we've rolled out some of their music and stuff. It's been pretty successful. Email marketing, we kind of talked about that before. It's been very popular, so hopefully you guys are using email marketing. People are reading our emails. The one pullback we've been doing, we're about to push the button on one for this week. And then we were told, 4th of July weekend was pretty sold out. And then we were worried about what's going to happen with possible rollback of reopenings. So it's a dance between telling people to come here, but then also finding out how open we're going to be. And we're still watching that for today. These are just testimonials about our membership. So I'll skip that because you guys are already members. Thank you very much. Skip that. This is information about advertising from JNS Next. If you recall, we use this company out of Palm Springs. They do a lot of advertising and buying for different tourism marketing organizations. And David Wells, who used to handle this at Sonoma Valley, he's actually working down there now. So the trends we're looking at among a lot of our destinations, it's really drive market is what we're looking at. Probably for the next 6 to 12 months, depending on how things go here. We're going to be highly invested in digital and things. We're going to be basically counting our pennies and really using a lot of outdoor imagery, talking about responsible travel, cleanliness, outdoor experiences, and open spaces. We should also mention that with COVID and also a lot of social changes happening.
Guys, I gotta go. I've got a work meeting.
Oh, look, okay. Thank you very much, Logan.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
We're going to see just being mindful of the social context and when we're advertising and what's going on, and mindful of what's happening. Social media has gone up almost 30% and digital usage is way up. I don't know if you guys know about this, but TV has been up 102 hours each month per household. So people are at home streaming TV or watching TV and stuff like that. And that's where radio and print and billboards are way down, obviously out of home. So we'll be targeting more digital for quite some time. So this data is from last week. So who knows what's going to happen here? 60% of American travelers feel the pandemic is going to get worse in the US. Trip cancellations have gone up. What I've been hearing from hotels is that people are planning, then they're canceling, but then last minute people are booking and paying a higher rate. I don't know if that works on what you're saying, but that seems to show that planning is going to become short-term and targeting people is going to be short-term. Here's the most important destination attributes for trip destination selection. This is data from destination analysts. They come out every week with this data, and I've spoken to it before. But affordability and not too expensive, relaxing and uncrowded. Now, affordable and not too expensive is a relative term. So even if you're a high-end property like Ruben, you can always position yourself against the cost of going to Europe versus coming to Sonoma. So this kind of depends. Remember, it's always a relative term. So those three right there work for us: relaxing and uncrowded, and using things like the plaza and the parks as a way to promote Sonoma is really what we're going to be messaging. This is kind of asking what is the tone of travel advertising people want. And the top things are honesty, being friendly, and entertaining. We're moving away from a lot of like super romantic and insidery stuff. And it's just like, just tell us what's going on there and be welcoming, because people are going back to wanting, you know, the casserole and the hot dish and the comfort food. We want to get away from the news and kind of escapist and very simple. The drive markets are showing where most of the opportunity is. This shows that people who plan to drive, this is AAA's thing, 30% of people are going to take a road trip that's longer than 12 hours or 750 miles. But the majority, if you start looking here, are between 500 miles and below. And that bodes well for us, as we mentioned before. And these are the top 5 US drive markets. So for road trips, so California, #1. So we can definitely use that. This is safety of travel. It's how safe people feel. Not really pertains to marketing, but interesting to look at who feels safe about opening up and then traveling outside. People tend to feel safer traveling outside than opening up, which is kind of ironic. And this is plans for people traveling on a week by week. So who's going to try to fly and who's going to try to drive. So it looks like people are more apt to start driving than before. That doesn't matter. Okay, and the final 2 things here, please. I think you've all seen this. Wear your masks, encourage your staff to wear the mask, and put up these signs. We have them available for you. Mask required. Please practice social distancing. We have them in Spanish. We've got this out all over the valley. If you need it, we can give you the digital files as well as provide them for you. So that, oh no, one final thing. Sorry, Norm. This is our new mobile visitor center right now. So Byron, to your point about kind of limiting stuff, the plaza itself, the building's not open for the public. So we have a mobile visitor center, and it looks just like a cart with a sign on it, because it's a cart with a sign on it. But we can actually move it around the plaza, which is we can kind of go find the customers. So we are seeing anywhere from 50 to 60 people per day, which is about 2/3 of our normal. So it's not bad. We're definitely getting the people. And that's my report.
Very nice report. Could you do me a favor? I'd like a copy of the JNS report and maybe
Sure.
some of the other members of the board. Would anybody want a copy? Raise your hand or say something.
I'll send it to everybody after the meeting.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
super.
Yeah, that would be super. Any comments on the report, Ruben,
No, I think it's fine.
Dan,
Sounds good.
Braren?
No, other than I expect that we're going to be moving backwards in some ways before we move forwards. But other than that, no.
Jay?
No, good job.
Good job. Good work, Tim.
Thank you.
We don't have anything from the city, I guess, today. So we're going to pass on that for the next meeting. And would you put that either
Sure.
Kathy or a representative will comment on the city?
Sure.
At this time, I'm going to call for the approval of the June 12th board meeting. Could I have a motion to put that on the floor for the approval of the June 12th, 2020 board meeting?
I think for the minutes, Norm.
The minutes,
Okay,
I'm
perfect.
sorry.
Yeah, I'd make that proposal.
Is
Okay.
there a second? Are there any comments on the minutes of the June 12th meeting? There being no comments, all those in favor, except for Jay, who can shout it out, raise your hand, and I'm calling for the question.
Yep, see that. And Jay, do you
Jay?
agree?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
It unanimously passes, Mr. Secretary. Is there anybody who would like to make a recommendation for an added item to the agenda for the August meeting? Mr. Secretary, we'll continue with the same items as we have here, with the addition that we'll have the city make a report at the August meeting as to the activities within the city of Sonoma. Do any of the other members of the board have any comments or questions that they'd like to present at this time?
Well, I'd like to make a quick comment. It sounds like things are up in the air as what's going to happen in the next few days. And I was hoping that Logan might have known something, but I think it's county generated, and I don't think anybody knows quite yet. But I haven't seen hotels on the list of things that might get cut back. So I hope it stays that way.
I'm not sure where I got this impression. My impression was the county's gonna take a step back on things possibly like indoor dining and wineries, not hotels, because that's what they did in LA when they took a step back. Is that right, Tim? Does that
Done
sound-
anything yet?
What I've heard, Byron, that's correct, is that it was indoor, it was bars and indoor restaurants. But outdoors were allowed open. And I don't know, tasting rooms seem to be conflated with bars in the state mandate. And I think they're trying really hard to get them separated because they're slightly different. I don't know if they'll be successful in that or not, but both Napa and Marin have closed indoor dining is what I heard. I think Napa's takes effect tomorrow. Today. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, and our numbers are bad. I mean, they've taken a turn to the wrong direction for sure. as you guys know.
Yeah, I think people were saying a lot of the, backyard parties and stuff like that have caused some problems with community transmission. But I think they go after some of the businesses first. So.
Anybody else would like to say something before we call for a motion to adjourn? If not, I'd like a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? Byron is seconded. Thank you. I call for the question. All those in favor, except Jay, who can yell out, raise your hand. Jay?
Aye.
So we have a unanimous vote to adjourn. I want to thank everybody in their busy schedules for making time today for us here. I want to thank you, Tim, for your terrific job here with the Bureau, and we look forward to helping you. And if there's anything any of you need from us at Sonoma Valley Inn, please feel free to call us and we'll be more than happy to work with you. We love the spray gun, by the way, for the rooms. I guess everybody else is using that too. It's been, our guests really like the concept, and we're getting a lot of comments on that.
Hey.
With
All right,
that,
well,
the meeting is adjourned.
thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.